Okay, in this video we are going to make a scatter plot of our independent versus dependent values, our data. Um, and we're also going to compute the best fit line based on that scatter plot and plot that as well. So the data that we're going to use is shown right here. Okay, there's another video about how to input that, but just again, this these height values are independent data, so we put those in list 1. These shoe sizes are dependent values, and so we put that in list 2. That's going to go on our y-axis. Okay, so data's already in there, and if we want to create a graph, we will go to second y equals, so the stat plot menu. Okay, we've already checked that all of our y equals values are empty, so the calculator won't try and plot any graphs from there. And when we're in stat plot, we just want to make sure that only one plot is on. Here you can see that plot 1 is the only one that's turned on, so we'll hit enter to select that one. Our scatter plot is right here in the top right. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down and highlight that. Okay, and what you'll see is now there's two lists, right? The calculator is asking for what do you want to plot on the x-axis, what do you want to plot on the y-axis. Okay, and so right now it's going to plot both the data values that are in list 2. We don't want that. We want our x values to be list 1. So to change this, I'm going to just hit second and 1. Okay, and then let's do a zoom. Let's do a zoom 9, and there we go. So there are our 6 data points which correspond to these ordered pairs. Okay, so that's the scatter plot. Now let's calculate a best fit line and plot that line. Okay, so I'm going to quit out of the graph. Just like with almost any statistical analysis that you want to do, you're going to hit the stat button and we're going to select calculate. So we'll go over to the right, and the calculator's got all kinds of regression functions. It's got linreg, which is what we're going to use. It's got quadratic regression, cubic regression, quartic regression, but in this class we're only going to work with linear regression. Okay, so we will go down, select linreg. Okay, and again, some of you are going to have software that automatically prompts you to store this somewhere. This is older software, and so we want to ideally, store this in the calculator in one of our y equals functions, so that we don't have to copy it and retype it in. Okay, so the way to do that is to go to the vars menu and select yvars, select function, and let's just put this in y1. Okay, so I'm going to select that. So now, what this is telling the calculator to do is do linear regression and put the equation that you get in y1. And by the way, the calculator is going to default to using list 1 as the x's and list 2 as the y's. And so we're not even going to tell the calculator that. Some of you might have newer software that asks for that, but that's the default. Okay, and so if you always put your x values in list 1 and your y values in list 2, you don't have to worry about anything. Right? So I'm going to hit enter, and here is our equation. So in this case, y, which is our shoe size, is going to equal 0.388x, x is our height, plus b, and b is a negative value. It's like negative 16.5 repeating. Okay. This calculator is also giving the r squared and the r value. R here is 0.914, so it's a pretty good fit. But we'll do another video where we explain how to compute that. Okay, so for now the important thing is these two values in the equation. Okay, I'm going to go back to my y equals and just confirm that that equation the calculator computed is stored in here. Okay, so we can be a little bit lazy and not have to copy anything down. Now when we push graph, there's our best fit line along with our data. It looks like it goes through this point exactly. And remember, the whole point of getting this line is so that we can do prediction. We can predict what, based on somebody's height, what their shoe size will be, right? And if we're predicting, outside this data, so if we're predicting way out here on the graph, that would be an extrapolation. If we're doing any prediction in here, that's within the data that we already have, we're doing interpolation. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. And yeah, have some fun graphing scatter plots and creating best fit lines.